I'll be with you. I'm looking for Sakuno. Sakuno? Baron Rickvold. Isn't this his camp?
You won't get nothing out of him. You must be Radzig's man. I heard he was supposed to send someone.
Yes, Sir Radzig sent me as a guide. I'm Henry.
I'm Jakey. And this here fella, we call the Stone.
I can see why. What's up with him? Cat got his tongue?
No, more like the dog got it. The executioner's dog. When the executioner ripped it out of him. Anyway, you better come along with me. I'll introduce you to the other fellas. And the chief. These here are the Bearman brothers, Petter and Jan. They're a barrel of laughs, except when they're too drunk to string two words together. Like now. Don't get on the wrong side of them, though. When their blood is up, well, it ain't a pretty sight.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, I'm sure.
Never mind the fancy poses, Stefan. You're trying to kill the fucker, not teach him how to dance. And you, Dangler, stand your ground. Don't let him lead you round by the nose.
Sir? Well, sir, this is Henry. From Lord Kobler.
Ah, it's about time Radzig got round to this. We need someone who knows their way around these parts. Leave off with the bowing and curtsying. We don't hold with that tomfoolery here. Jakey! Where the hell are you sneaking off to? Go to the farm and get water. The lads are thirsty.
But I went last time.
And you'll go next time, you ungrateful pup. Get your ass moving. Snot-nosed brat. You pull them out of a pile of shit, and they thank you with back talk. Where were we? Oh yeah. We need a guide who knows these parts. So I hope I can rely on you, Herman.
It's Henry.
Right. As I said to Radzig, I don't want to carry any dead weight. We could find ourselves in some very tight situations where every sword counts.
I know how to handle a sword, all right?
I've heard a lot of fellas say that. They still ended up on the wrong end of one. We'll find out. Stefan, take a break. Dangler, let's find out what Harold here can do.
Sure. No problem, Chief.
You know how this one ends. Now. I'll have you. Kill you. I'll fucking kill you.
Dog preachy.
It'll all be over with you soon. Cunt! Had enough.
You didn't fare badly at all, I must say. You can ride with us.
All right, good. Thanks.
Don't thank me yet. You don't know what you're letting yourself in for.
Sir Kuno, can you tell me something about yourself?
Drop the sir. That title brought me nothing but grief. But what do you want to know?
I'd like to ask about your men.
Ask away.
What about the fellow they call Dangler?
I've never ridden with a better man, I can tell you. He doesn't say a lot, but for that, he listens all the better. Nothing escapes him.
So he scouts for you?
Not just that. It's happened more than once. I was closing a deal with someone, and Dangler told me after that he didn't like the smell of the fella. Nearly every time he was right, and the fellow tried to stab me in the back afterwards.
Those Behrman brothers are quite a pair.
Indeed they are. There's no more mercy in them than in, well, a bear. If I told them to skewer you on the spot, they'd do it, without batting an eyelid.
Jesus.
Oh, aye. They'd argue first about which one of them got to do the job. But they're as obedient as a huntsman's dogs. Real soldiers, a pair of them. Reliable, as long as they don't get too drunk. Then there's no keeping them under control. But nobody's perfect.
What can you tell me about Stefan?
Fletching. For one thing, he's a very resourceful fellow.
How did he come to join your band?
Well, Let's just say he was in the right place at the right time. You'll find he has quite a knack for that.
What exactly happened?
Sorry, I'd love to tell you the whole story, but I'd be betraying his trust.
Oh, now you've got me curious. Maybe I should ask him myself.
Sure, why not? Our Fletch does love to converse.
What about that dumb one? How did he end up with you?
The stone? Oh, he just kind of tagged along.
Just like that?
Aye, just like that. We were riding from Olomouc to a castle past Kladsko when we ran into him and some other wayfarers camping along the way. You know how it goes. We made acquaintance with them, had a drink or two, then we travelled on together. After all, there's safety in numbers.
I'm not sure I'd be thinking that if I ran into you lot on the road.
We might have done some things I ain't proud of, but wayfarers are sacred even for me. Anyway, our fellow travellers dropped off along the way. One in Mohelnitz, one in Schoenberg, and the rest in Kladsko. Except for the stone. He stuck with us the whole way. The fellas kept asking him what he was after, but of course he never said a word. When we were approaching Barsdorf, I ordered the men to get rid of him. I had some business at the castle, and I didn't want any strangers sticking their noses in. Stefan tried to tell him nicely, but he just sat there, staring like he was turned to stone. That's when we gave him the name. Then the Bearman brothers tried to get him off his horse. He booted Jan in the face and knocked him out cold. Then he jumped down and felled Petter with one punch. Well, a man who can do that is a man you want on your side. So we kept him.
Weren't you worried about having a stranger in your band? Especially one who didn't talk?
No, I figured if he can't talk, he can't tell. Besides, I've had worse.
What about Jakey?
Jakey, that boy will be the death of me. You've got to be tough on him, or he's good for nothing. But I'm fond of him, in a way.
Like a son?
I wouldn't go that far. But I've no family of my own. And unlike those other cutthroats, he seems to me like a good lad.
Well, you're pretty hard on him, though. And the others keep him on his toes, too.
The boy needs a firm hand. I was like him once, and I got the same too. If we let him be, we'd end up with a third bear man. And who'd want that?
True. 2 is more than enough. Should we ride out?
Aye, we ought to set out on patrol about now. Hope you've got your kit ready and whatnot. I'd like to head to the north. Is there anything interesting that way?
North of here, Samapesh and Merhoyed are that way, and Talmberg is a bit further on. There's stables in Merhoyed.
I wouldn't mind paying a visit to those stables. We can go through there.
And from there?
From there, we'll follow our noses. Something interesting is sure to turn up. I feel it in my bones. Mount up and let's go.
Sure. Chief.
What a fine day, eh, brother?
Indeed, brother.
You know what I like best about days like this, Jan?
The scent of chamomile wafting from the hillsides.
Among other things.
Ah, like the rounded hills, rising, purpling, all soft and pink in the sunlight.
And the fertile valley below, spreading wide and inviting.
Dew glistening in a mossy hollow.
The sweet aroma of honey in the air.
The sturdy poplar, standing tall and erect.
Aye, it reminds me of that day. That day where the two of us fought Fletcher's ma.
Very droll. You'd make a stuffed bug party.
Your ma's a stuffed bird. I stuffed her myself.
I can't smell any chamomile.
Well, men, how are things?
May I?
Yes, Fletch?
How shall I put it? I'm a little concerned about the prospects in these parts, Chief.
Oh? How's that?
I've been looking around, and if you'll pardon me, it seems to me that we've been stuck for a long time in the arsehole of beyond.
It's not Paris, France, I'll grant you.
What I mean to say is, I haven't got any new kit or arrows since the day Jakey joined us. It makes me uneasy, Chief.
I see. What about the rest of you?
I don't know what Fletch is moaning about. There's plenty of booze and loose wenches nearby.
Not to mention fools in the taverns who don't know when to stop rolling those dice.
Dangler?
It's the arsehole of beyond everywhere we go. And it always makes me uneasy.
Jakey?
Fletch can complain. I was supposed to get a suit of armor, and all I got was a shitty kettle hat.
Sorry, but they don't do hauberks in girls' sizes.
Oh? Well, how did you get yours then?
All right, I appreciate your honesty, lads. Don't worry, there will be plunder. We're here to fight, to the victor the spoils. And so it's always been, but no purse of silver will shed blood for you on the battlefield. That's what this company is for. And I hope you never forget the golden rule. You can joke all you want, moan all you want, but nothing will keep your skins in one piece better than trusting your leader. You choose by your own free will. So don't ever forget that.
Amen.
Chief, I think there's something going on over there.
Let's go! Behind me, keep your eyes peeled. What do you think we can expect this time, fellas?
Groschen, hidden in a piss pot under the bed. A nice chunk of beef. No one there will be eating.
On account of it'd just fall out through the holes in their bellies, eh, brother?
My mouth is already watering, brother, and I ain't even touched the purse yet.
Once you get your hands on some loot, I'll be happy to fill you three up our
The poor old Fletch never gets to see the action close up.
What about you, Dangler? What do you expect to find?
Futility and human suffering, like always.
Always full of good cheer, eh, Dangler? Why don't you take a leaf out of Stone's book? Shut the fuck up.
Jesus, I wish you'd all shut the fuck up.
Keep your eyes peeled, though. There might be someone hiding out here still. Look for clues and question the survivors, if there are any.
Jesus Christ, what a massacre.
We weren't even armed. Looks like it happened fast. God almighty. Did the raiders leave any tracks?
Well, they came from the northwest. A horse or two and a few men on foot.
Anything else?
No, nothing.
Would you stop doing that?
You think they'll have any use for this stuff?
That's not the point. Robbing the dead isn't right.
That's what you say. I say it's all the fucking same to them. They're dead. And Prague Groshen are worthless in Lombardy. Never mind in the hereafter.
I'm telling you for the last time, stop it.
And I'm telling you for the last time, I see no reason why I should.
Because I'm fucking telling you to stop. Now go and do your job. Sir Radzig isn't paying you to loot corpses.
Now you've gone too far.
No! Ugh!
Kuno, your men are robbing the dead.
What did you expect, Henry? Old habits die hard, and most of the lads ain't had an easy life.
But try explaining that to Sir Radzig. You're acting in his name here, so he expects you to behave the same as his own people, with honor.
Steady on now, we don't have to drag Radzig into it. I'll have a word with him.
Poor wretch. Kuno will want to know about this. I found this shield in a shed along with a letter. Seems like someone left us a message.
Show me that. I know that crest. It's the House of Zul. Dangerous lot, God's truth. I don't think we'll find anything else here. We'll stay here a while, just in case. And you should go and report to Radzig what happened.
What do you know about these Zuls?
A family of impoverished nobles. They fought in the Margraviate Wars in Moravia. But what they're after in Bohemia, no idea.
I thought I could go and search for those raiders. They might not have gotten very far yet.
All right. It's always good to have an extra pair of eyes. We'll keep searching here for a while, and then head back to the camp.
Did you find any tracks?
Some, a horse or two. They rode off through the meadow towards dawn. They're avoiding the road, which is interesting.
Towards dawn?
Meaning towards the east. Apart from the mounted ones, there were some men on foot too. Well weighed down.
Oh, they can't move too fast then.
No. And what's more, they left a trail of blood. One or more of them might be wounded. Either that, or they dragged off some poor bastard from here.
Nice work. Thanks. Poor creature. Hunted down like game. went this way. Seems they met some resistance at the farm. What a waste. But at least I know which way they went. There they are. I tracked down those raiders.
You did? Well, nice work. So where are they?
A short way to the east, in a glade in the woods. They're dividing up their loot.
How many of them are there?
About 7.
We'll see. I'll tell the lads we're gonna deal with them. Nice and quiet. Hey! To me, now! Listen up! Henry tracked down those bastards who raided the farm. They're dividing up their loot, not far from here. So let's pounce on them and give them what for. Move out!
talking!
God!
Right, we'll have a look around here for, clues. Meanwhile, Henry, you go and report to Radzig.
Yeah.
Come over here.
God's blessings. Goodbye.
Let's talk about the price.
All right, so.
What about this?
You won't convince me with that. Finally, a reasonable sum.
Would you have anyone here who would work as a groom for me in Pribyslavitz?
Well, there might be, but we're still getting things back into shape after that raid. And I can't afford to lose my hands. Although, poor Mark could do with a change. He's not been himself since that night. Always staring at the ground like he can still see those dead horses. I'm afraid it's not good for him being here, but I can't just trust him to anyone.
Not to worry, I'll take good care of him. And I can really use someone who understands horses.
It'd do him good to move away and leave those ghosts behind, especially if he's taking care of horses. He's a clever lad and loves those animals. But who's going to do his job here? I can't afford to hire a new hand right away.
You know it would be the best thing for Mark. But if it's as you say, the poor lad could lose his mind here.
Oh dear. It'll be hard to manage without him, but you're right. Very well then. You have my permission. Mark can go with you if he wants to. God be with you.
No. Clear off. Let me sleep. Oh, shit. Sod off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where the hell were you brought up? Don't you know you have to have a light after dark? Hey, where's your torch? You can't walk around here in the dark without a light.
Henry. Are you blind?
God be with you, lad. What can I do for you?
Sir, I'm afraid I have some bad news. We came across a burnt-out farm near Merhoyed.
Christ! It seems Pribyslavitz wasn't the end of it.
Now, this is something else, sir. We found a shield there with a crest. A tricolour star on a blue field.
I know that coat of arms, unfortunately. It's the House of Zul.
There was a letter there, too.
Show it to me. Although I think I already know what it will say.
Here you are, sir.
Unscrupulous beast. Cruelty and malevolence. I challenge you to face me in a duel, defend your honor. Antinomious wretch. Well, that's nice. Signed, Hagen Zul. As I expected, old grievances coming back to haunt me.
This Sir Hagen wants to challenge you to a duel.
Apparently, he still hopes I will agree to this kind of outmoded solution to disputes.
But surely you can't refuse a challenge to a duel. What about your honor?
Henry, my boy, honor is a splendid thing, and it should be held in high regard. But in time, you'll learn that some matters are not so straightforward.
Like this one?
Yes, like this one. The only reason Hagen is challenging me now is that he has a marked advantage. I've served as the royal hetman for the last 15 years and become a courtier. Hagen, meanwhile, was fighting in the Margraviate Wars in Moravia and elsewhere as a mercenary. Which of us do you think would win a duel? That's not honor, but an abuse of honor. Commonplace opportunism. I don't blame him for trying, but I'm not such a fool as to play by his rules.
What happened between you and Sir Hagen?
That's a long story.
Well, I'd like to hear the whole story, sir, if you wouldn't mind.
Very well. It began in the first year of King Wenceslas's reign. He sent me to resolve a dispute between the Zuls and a neighbouring house. It concerned land boundaries. The Zuls had refused to accept the ruling of the land court. His Majesty's position was a little shaky after his coronation. So a decision was made in the royal court to take radical action against any dissent in the kingdom. Since the Zul family was defying the king, we were obliged to punish them. Harshly, as the circumstances demanded. The head of the family, Hagen's father, was hanged, their castle razed to the ground and their property confiscated.
So, they're out for vengeance. But you acted according to the law.
Would it were that simple, lad. I was young and didn't realize the repercussions it would bring. For one thing, the king didn't use it to strengthen his position. On the contrary, he took less and less interest in such affairs.
How come?
Because he realized things would eventually sort themselves out. He promoted me to royal hetman, leaving him to pursue other interests. Secondly, my actions essentially created another band of robbers. When you strip a nobleman of his property, you can't expect him to take to begging. And thirdly, I wasn't aware at the time that the other party to the dispute was distantly related to me. Naturally, that made it look like I was acting in self-interest. If I'd known what I know today, I'd have been a lot more circumspect.
Well, what are we going to do about this?
You and Kuno's band will just have to deal with Hagen and prevent further mayhem. The longer he's marauding around these parts, the greater the chances that I'll finally have to succumb to his conditions.
So you'd fight him, if it came to that?
Let's hope it doesn't come to that. But maybe there's something else behind this challenge. Maybe it's coin he's after. Who knows?
All right. We'll deal with him, sir.
I'm sure you will, Henry.
I'd like to ask something about this Sir Hagen.
Sure.
Goodbye.